you're going to provide here in this remarkable school. Now, at the heart of this manifesto is a simple proposition. We are the party of working people, offering you security at every stage of your life. If you're a young person looking for training, if you're looking for a good job, if you want to buy your own home, if you're raising a family and need help with childcare or a great school place for your child, if you fall ill and need to rely on our National Health Service, if you're reaching retirement and want security, we are there for you, offering security at every stage of life. Yes, the Conservative Party, the real party of working people in our country today. And the truth is this: we are on the brink of something special in our country. These past 5 years have been a critical period. We've drawn on all the resources of our nation to turn a great recession into a great recovery. Together with the hard work of the British people, we've rescued our economy, created record numbers of jobs, put Britain back on her feet. We've put our country on solid ground. We've laid solid foundations. But let me tell you, the next 5 years are much, much more important. The next 5 years are about building on those foundations. The next 5 years are about turning the good news in our economy into a good life for you and your family. They're about realizing the potential of Britain, not as a debt-addicted, welfare-burdened, steadily declining, once great nation, which is what we found, but a country where a good life is there for everyone willing to work for it. A good job, a good home, a good start for your children, a good and secure retirement. Britain, our country, it's lived its long life as an exemplary country. The small island with a massive impact. The bright light in the North Sea that's exceeded expectations decade after decade, century after century. And we are on the brink of being that country once again. We can be the country that not only lives within its means and pays its way, but the country that offers a good life to those who work hard and do the right thing. The country that doesn't just lead in what we invent and create and sell, but how we care for the elderly and look after the sick. In Britain, we've always shown that we have the ingredients, the will, above all the people, to overturn what's inevitable. And with a strengthened economy behind us, this buccaneering, world-beating, can-do country, we can do it all over again. That's what I mean when I say we're on the brink of something special. This is a great country and we can be greater still. So let's not waste the past 5 years. Let's not let Labour drag us back to square one. Let us finish what we've begun. Now, this manifesto is about how we build that brighter future, and it starts with strong leadership, doing what is right and sticking to it. I see that around my cabinet table. When the Great Recession had this country in a stranglehold, when people were talking about a double dip and a triple dip, saying we had to change course, George Osborne said, no, we hold firm and we stick to the plan. When lobby groups and interest groups were reined against her, saying you can't deport this extremist or change that law, Theresa May, she said, no, we hold firm, we do whatever it takes to keep Britain safe. And when he was attacked from all sides for his welfare reforms, Ian Duncan Smith said no. We hold firm and we stick to the plan because this is about giving people dignity and hope and getting our country back to work. And that's what we've done together. This is what we offer. Strong leadership, not weakness. Competence, not chaos. And that is what Britain needs today. I am so grateful to my incredible team of Conservatives in the Cabinet, and it is great to have them all here today. Thank you. Now, to me as leader, one word matters above all the others, and that is security. As Prime Minister, I've worked with our allies to go after ISIL in Iraq. I've helped to lead the global sanctions to punish Putin for his belligerence and Iran for their nuclear ambitions. And we've not only repaired the £38 billion black hole that we inherited in our defence budget, we're now implementing a £160 billion plan to get the best equipment to those men and women who stand between us and those who would do us harm. Yes, our brilliant, brave armed forces, and this party will always be grateful to them and support them in what they do. So big choices, and there are more of them in this manifesto. The choice to hold an EU referendum. Strong leadership isn't denying the British people a say and ducking the issue. Strong leadership is negotiating, getting changes on welfare so we can reduce immigration, and then letting you, the British people, decide in an in-out referendum. There's the big choice to renew Trident. Not 3 submarines, but 4, so it is there 365 days a year. This is quite simply the ultimate insurance policy for our country. And then there is the big choice on how we deal with Islamist extremism at home and abroad. The threat is in many ways unprecedented. Think about it. Young people with every chance in life, in great schools, leaving Britain and all it offers to join a brutal death cult thousands of miles away. This manifesto equips the next government to tackle this threat, stopping young people travelling to Syria and Iraq, closing our borders to extremist preachers, banning those groups who want to congregate to spread their hate. And yes, we will give our security services the powers they need, including keeping up to date their ability to access vital communications data. But we also need to do something else. We need to assert the British values of democracy, freedom, tolerance, the rule of law, and assert them proudly. Other parties might be wary of causing offence or being criticised by those who see every single measure as an affront to their civil liberties. Well, I would say this. I've met the parents and loved ones of those killed by terrorists. I read the intelligence reports. I know the threats. I have to make the judgment calls needed to tackle them. And I know this above all. Our generation must fight the threat of Islamist extremism with the same resolve and tenacity as any threat Britain has faced before. Because this is the Conservative Party, and we will not risk our nation's security. Now, there is no national security without economic security. In fact, there's almost nothing without economic security. Every teacher in our schools, every operation in our NHS, every police officer keeping our streets safe, all of it, every single piece of it is built on a strong economy. And that's why this manifesto is about seeing through our clear long-term economic plan. There's a balanced plan to clear the deficit. We'll do it in the next few years, not through tax rises on you and your family, but through sensible savings, reforming welfare, and clamping down on tax evasion and tax avoidance. Just as in this Parliament, we'll take action on the deficit, properly fund the NHS, and cut taxes for working people. And what's more, by 2018, we'll be running a surplus. Britain walking taller, knowing that our economy is secure and that we haven't passed on levels of debt to our children that they could never hope to repay. And in this manifesto, there is more. We've had over 2 million apprenticeships. We'll have 3 million more. We've had over 25,000 start-up loans. We'll have 50,000 more. Because we know that in the end, it's not government that creates jobs, it's businesses that create jobs, and we will always back them in their work. Now, we've seen the North growing faster than the South, and we'll build a northern powerhouse to make sure ours is a truly national recovery. Across our country, there will be university technical colleges like this one, upgraded roads, electrified railways, high-speed 2, and yes, let's build that new high-speed rail link between our great cities in the North too. Let us see this plan through, and Britain will keep exporting, keep growing, keep job creating, and yes, we'll be back in the black, but only if the Conservatives are back in government. And my friends, let's be clear what all this is for. The most important words on this manifesto are these: a brighter, more secure future for you and your family. I didn't come into politics to be some sort of high-powered accountant and just balance the books. I desperately want this to be a country where children can make the most of their God-given talents, whatever their background. Where if you want a job, you can get one. Where if you're working, commuting, saving, raising a family, you feel like the odds are stacked for you, not against you. That is why I'm here. That is why I'm a Conservative. For me, the best moments of the last 5 years haven't been about the pomp and the ceremony, the G8 meetings or the G20 meetings, or heaven forbid, the EU Council meetings. They've been the meetings with the couples who have the keys to their first home, the meetings with the apprentices learning their first trade, the people knowing the satisfaction of a day's work after years on the dole. That is what I mean by a good life. Families secure, the peace of mind that comes with a proper job and a career, the security of knowing your children are getting a great education. And that is why the next 5 years are so much, much more important than the last 5 years. Because having rescued our economy and set Britain back on her feet, now is our chance to truly finish the job, to make this a country where those who work hard and do the right thing can enjoy a good life. Now, this manifesto, it is thick with plans to achieve just that. We are taking, and will continue to take, the difficult decisions necessary, controlling welfare to reward work, pursuing multinationals so they pay their taxes, making government more efficient, saving £1 for every £100 the government spends for 2 years, and through the Parliament we will make sure of all these things. The personal tax threshold is raised to £12,500. You don't pay the 40p tax rate until you're earning £50,000. Your family home taken out of inheritance tax. There's £8 billion more a year for our NHS, so it's there for your family 7 days a week. Rail fares frozen for 5 years. 500 new free schools delivered. 200,000 starter homes built. A manifesto that is right there, foursquare behind working people in our country. Only a Conservative government can deliver it. And today, in this manifesto, all set out here today in this manifesto, we have 3 new commitments to make to the working people of Britain. Now, part of having a good life is having a home of your own. It's not about assets and appreciating values. It's about someone standing there with the keys in their hand thinking, this place is mine. That's why Conservatives have committed to building a property-owning democracy for generations.